Living in castles, a bit at a time. The king started laughing, talking in rhyme, singing words between the lines of age. Yeah, I know I skipped anyway. So, words are all the people who profess to live on a globe have. That's all they have, because if they go outside and have a look, they'd find out, oh, we don't live on a globe. Can I feel a spin? No. Is the horizon always flat and level? Yes. So, what gives you the idea that you're living on a ball? Is it because somebody told you? Is it because you've given your thinking powers and your brain and your mind to some other authority figure who you class as an authority on this subject? Shame on you. We're all authorities. We're all scientists. If you look at what the word means, we're all scientists. We all fathom out our surroundings, and if you don't, if you just let other people tell you, then you're a failed scientist. And how can you go about life if the foundation of your life are incorrect? You're living on a very false premise, and in fact, it's ridiculous. The spinning ball Earth it's crazy, and if you see, I'm so it's finished, gone, dead, buried, forgotten, but it still is in other people's minds. And it's such a shame that these people are, because most of them are really great people who still believe in the ball, but they won't allow themselves to admit that they've been fooled. And yeah, it's not nice. It's, when you find out that your parents are breaking up, perhaps, or your wife is cheating on you, or your husband's cheating on you. It's that kind of feeling. The loss of a loved one. It's similar, but the loss of a loved one is not the same, really, because they could be dead and gone, and through nobody's fault. But if you believe, and it is a belief, if you believe you're living on a spinning ball, then that's your fault. All these arseholes that have told you, like Brian Cox and all those dickheads that are paid actors who tell you this bullshit, you can't really blame them. Not really. You can't blame Boyzone for the dross that they produce, can you? Just don't listen to it. It's simple. Turn them off. Don't buy their CDs. That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry to single out Boyzone, but it's just fill in the blank here. That is subjective. You may hate Neil Young. Shame. But I can't judge you if you do. That's simply your taste. But it's not a matter of taste where you live. I mean, you're not the housing estate or the semi or the whatever. I mean, the earth, the shape of the earth. We are all here, and none of us live on a spinning ball. Many of us believe that they do, but they don't. And To me, it's so ridiculous now, the spinning ball Earth. If anybody does talk to me about it, if they believe and they come to me because they know my opinion, and it's not an opinion, it's knowledge, then I'll try and be courteous. I'll try and accommodate their nonsense, but forgive me if I laugh at, see, okay, I was once like that. I was once a believer in the ball. I once thought that we were spinning at 1,037.5 miles an hour at the equator. I once believed that every year we went round the sun. And well, okay, I'll finish off the rest of it. Then, of course, the sun is circling the spiral arm of the galaxy at some tremendous rate, and then the galaxy itself is circling the Great Attractor. That's right. A planet apparently the size of an incomprehensible size. You couldn't even imagine it. It's so big. Just like, was it somebody who's saying that Polaris, this is so good, Polaris has to be the size of our solar system because it's so far away and it's that big. And if you think that's real, you have a long way to go before you reach sanity, the level of sanity, because your brain is not your own, your mind is not your own. You've given it to some bunch of idiots who have told you what to think, when it's quite obvious, really. If you do the thing with the sun, just do that thing with the sun. You know the thing, don't you? It's 8 minutes away, 8 light minutes away, that our sun, supposedly. It's bullshit, but this is how you know it's bullshit. 8 light minutes away, double it, okay, half the size of the sun. Double the distance, half the size. So now it's 16 minutes away. 16 light minutes. Double it again and half the size of the sun again. And so it's like, let's call it half an hour away. So it's getting smaller. So let's make it an hour away. It's even smaller. You've just half the size again. Let's make it a light week away. Could you see it? Probably just a pinprick. A light month away? Very doubtful. A light year away? No fucking chance. Yet our sun is supposedly an average size star. So all those stars that you see, well, our sun is, represented there. And I'm talking bullshit, by the way. This is the heliocentric Brian Cox, fantasy world nonsense. So, Polaris, now, it's something like 200 light years away, some fucking crap like that. And they say, well, it's the size of our solar system. Hey, if it really was that size, wouldn't we be, drawn towards it? It doesn't work. They have to make these ridiculous representations by the ridiculous maths they've got into. They are just digging themselves deeper and deeper into a bottomless pit of bullshit. And that's the astrophysicists, the people who make up fairy tales and would have us believe them. Anyway, it's only 4 o'clock. And I've got a candle on here, and it's very dark and gloomy. I've just come in because it was getting too dark to work, because I'm kind of inside working. But I can't just switch the light on. I've probably said that before. Probably said everything I'm saying now before. But when will you fucking get it? You know, when will... No, I'm not a violent man. I would never punch anybody in the face. Unless they punch me in the face first, then I would fucking do it, yes. But I would never instigate violence. But I'm not one of these people who would turn the other cheek so I can be hit on that cheek as well. No. Now, stick up for yourselves, people. Even if you believe in little baby Jesus, stick up for yourselves. Don't turn the other cheek. Don't let people domineer and browbeat you into believing bullshit or into doing anything you don't want to do. Because if you don't want to do it, don't do it. If it's not going to benefit you, then that's you've got to weigh up the pros and cons in life. And I'm not saying if I don't want to help the old lady across the road. Of course, help the old lady across the road. Be generous with your time, if it's possible. But what I'm saying is, don't be exploited by those who will exploit you. If they see a weakness, that's what happens. Anyway, all the very best for the what they call the new year, and I hope you can see some sense if you still believe in the ball. I hope you will allow common sense to prevail instead of Brian Cox, because he's just an actor, and he is reading a script, and he knows nothing of any relevance, of any substance. It doesn't know how the substance we call water, which definitely isn't hydrogen and oxygen. That is ridiculous. If you think about that, just think about that. How would hydrogen be now in a state in your room? What would it look like? And oxygen, what would they look like if they were in your room? Could you see them? I would say no. Because at this pressure, they are gases. And how could you put them together? Nobody's ever put them together to make water. And nobody's ever got water from them. So, if you don't believe me, just watch Pete and Peter. But you'll have to go back a few weeks or months. Anyway, like I say, all the best for the new year, and think it's a real good thing to do. Your brain it's a wonderful tool if you know how to use it, and you can think for yourself. You don't need outside influences. Or the only influences you should have is your world that surrounds you. Yeah. So if you're crossing the road, you wouldn't do it when there's a bus coming. So take that practical common sense and expand it. Anyway, see ya.